Yeah, I want to get a better sense of what, I mean, is anybody here from, you are?
Yes, sir.
I'm just curious, what, it wasn't clear to me what this event is, that somebody needs prayers, what I got out of it, but I didn't know who that somebody was.
Well, it's a little complex. You want me to explain here? Or?
Yeah, if you're going to introduce, identify yourself.
Sure. I can do that. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman. My name is John Featherston. I'm an Ashland resident. I'm former chairman of the Board of Health and the Board of Selectmen in Ashland. What brings me here tonight is a sensitive subject and a concerning subject, but I think it's a subject that most of you are aware. As I mentioned, I was the former chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and I stood shoulder to shoulder with Mr. Orem over his false allegations by a resident in this town to the IG report. And if anybody needs any background, I'd be happy to go into that, but I'd like to leave that in the past and wish Mr. Orem, health and happiness, because it was a terrible situation for him, and in my opinion, my strong opinion, it was wrong. From that has become a concern of mine where I've been kind of intertwined in it, because I stood up with Mr. Orem and worked with Daryl on that. I became a target of Mr. Murchison. He targeted me on my radio program on WCRN, as he did with Kirk Minahan and Jerry Callahan, and essentially had them removed from the air because he did not like the grievances. I've had a lot of strife in my life the last couple of months, specifically my father just passing recently. It's a good way to put your life in perspective. Nobody, in my opinion, should ever be bullied. Nobody should ever feel harassed. There's three sides to every story. There's yours, there's mine, and the truth. It's not a good optic for Sherborn. It's not a good optic for Ashland. It was a horrible optic for WEEI and Intercom. It's become a bad optic for Barstool Sports. I could either complain about it, keep my head in the sand, continue to see family, friends, co-workers affected by it, or I could be part of change. I am not only as a former selectman and the former chairman of the Board of Health, I'm also a justice of the peace. I also hold 2 Governor Bacon appointments. I'm also a member of Rotary International. Just recently, it was my former club president. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Rotary, but Rotary has something that they call the 4-way test. And if I could I pass a card out to each one of you? So you can understand?
I don't know if that's appropriate. I think
Okay.
we were asking questions about the
But I just
event
wanted to
that
give you background on what I wanted to do.
No, I just want to get an idea of what the event is.
So the event would be a prayer vigil that we would invite all parties that I mentioned to come together and kind of bury the hatchet, okay? Because I think it's time for everybody to move on. And we would encourage everybody to come, every citizen, every demographic, all is welcome. I, as a former public safety official, understand the concerns. That's why I worked, and I have to tell you, Diane's been great to work with. So kudos to her. She should probably get a raise.
Did you hear the budget?
I did. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Sherborn.
No, but she's been good to work with. I understand the traffic concern. As a former selectman, that would be the first question I would ask somebody sitting at this table. That's why my first phone call about this was to the chief. Happy to pay for a police detail. I've also got an insurance binder here that I can present to you tonight. Full disclosure, I didn't pay for it until I get the permit, but if I get the permit, it'll be paid, and I'll have it to Diane tomorrow as well. I understand, sidewalks better than most people in Ashland. If there's 3 people on the sidewalk, they're in violation of the law. Keep moving. I understand the public safety of it. My word as a justice of the peace, a fellow Board of Selectmen, I take utmost of support to it. But I want to stress to you that I really think this is a good thing. It's a healing thing. It's an opportunity for people to air their grievances, and it's time to move on. And what other place better than the Peace Avenue to do something like that?
Thank you.
Well,
Go ahead.
to clarify,
This is on town property.
Property.
Peace Abbey is private property.
But right across. the
So
street.
let's make it clear that one of the conditions
Thank you
is
for
that this is done on public property, not on private property.
Correct.
I'd like to set some, and actually, I'm sorry, situation, sorry, again, passing it, Bob.
Thank you.
And in general, I'd encourage this board to have minimal discussion on the actual either intent or whatever else. This is ultimately a
I
First
agree.
Amendment issue, a right to assemble. I think we just have to, make sure we're protective of the town, insurance riders, and not blocking
The
public
reason why I
access.
asked the
So-
question is I wanted to have a sense of what the attendance was going to be here. If it's gonna be 2 people, that's one level. If it's gonna be 200 people, that's a different level. So I was trying to figure out what this was in order to get a sense of what we're dealing with here.
And I understood why you asked, I was simply saying for subsequent discussion.
Yeah,
I agree, I think it's,
And let's focus on that question. First Amendment issues need to be content neutral, so the content is irrelevant, in my view, to what our decision is. So the question of how many people come, that's relevant.
So what are you projecting?
Well, at the very least, I hope at least 5 people show up. 5 people being Kirk Minahan, Jerry Callahan, Bob Murchison, Mark Orm, and myself. Mr. Minahan is very, very popular. He has loyal supporters. When I talked to Diane and his police chief, I gave a figure of 50. And once again, as a justice of the peace and a former selectman, if I thought that there was any more, I would ask, as people came, I would ask that people would leave as well too. Public safety, of course, is paramount.
So you're gonna limit this to 50 people?
At the most, because as you gentlemen know better than I, the constraints of that area is probably not conducive to that.
okay, well, Chuck made a motion, and do I have a second? Second. Do we have any other discussion? Not, then I'll, oh, sorry, Suzie, did you have a comment?
Yeah, Susan Tyler, I think you can hear me here. Susan Tyler on the Traffic Safety Committee. And we actually at our last meeting brought up the parking of cars on the grass or on the sidewalk, actually in front of the War Memorial, not the War Memorial, in front of Gandhi and whether that will end up being in the future, posted, parking signs going up there, because it really, there's enough going on at that intersection to now all of a sudden see cars on the side of the road on top of sidewalks.
The police recommendation has very specific instructions on parking, which they're gonna do, because they have to follow regulations that the police chief recommended, so there's parking, they won't be parking along the road.
Yeah, can I ask one specific question? Mr. Featherstone, Chief Thompson sent a memo dated October 22nd, 2019 to Diane, and you were CC'd on it. And it had 10 requirements in terms of police detail, the point I made about the private property. My assumption is you've agreed to those, all 10 points?
And I do have a signed copy of
Great.
it, set right here.
And you said you have the insurance binder naming the town as an additional insured.
I do have that.
We have the hold harmless that you executed.
Any other questions? If not, we'll take a vote. All those in favor? Great. Unanimous. Thank you.
Can I just ask 2 clarification questions? Because I'm glad to hear that the traffic is here. Recommendations for people parking on that day, so it does not become a traffic concern?
I'm gonna leave that to the discretion of the police chief,
Okay.
if he's already
It's in
weighed
this,
into it.
it's in the,
Okay.
it's very clear where you're supposed to park.
How am I prepaying for the police detail?